click the record button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, it's going good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. So we're doing a deck doctor on your awesome Death Dabi deck, Death Dabi combo deck, and you're kind of like the Dabi guy, right? Like this is just the character you want to play, huh?
Currently, yeah.
Nice. Nice. So basically, for what a deck doctor is you're gonna sit down and you're gonna give me the elevator pitch of how you want this deck to work, and then we're gonna go through and we're gonna polish it and see if we can come to some conclusions of things maybe to put in to make this deck a little bit cool, a little bit more awesome. So with that, man, give me the elevator pitch. What's going on with this Dabi deck?
So, what I want to do with it is, I really want the block step to be a question, like, should I block this, or like really make it if I don't, there are consequences. If you do, it's fine, it's whatever, right? So
Right.
I'm really playing off the combo mechanic to make that decision become harder as the phases progress.
Okay.
And then foundation wise, it's just some utility to help support what Dabi wants to do, and just overall in what the deck wants to do, like damage wise, or even just some like control, so I can push my agenda forward.
Makes sense to me. Doing just a little bit of looking.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going.
And then the sideboard is literally just, now it's Shigaraki Burn, basically.
Okay.
So it has a heavy emphasis. Oh my goodness. It's heavy on fury attacks as well.
Love that. Is this it? No, that's not the main board. Okay. I'm doing just a couple more looks here on cards that we can play. This one, and then one more. This one, and we're good. Okay, so I've made us a list. What do you think your best or favorite attack is when it comes to these bad boys?
I think I would have to go with Signature Right Swing and Turn to Dust.
Okay.
I feel like those are two cards that really help what I want to do, or help me push through to get like damage. So like Turn to Dust has the stun and an EX2, and Signature Right Swing I can discard and draw 2, which fills out my foundations in my discard pile. Love which that. Threatens Dabi's once per game.
Yeah. No, I think this is really good. I missed one card that I want to talk about. So I think that death might be the symbol for Dabi. It's either death or chaos. I don't think that fire gets the job done.
Which is funny because I don't see a lot of death lists. I see a lot of fire, a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
And so I'm really proud to have this at my forefront using death.
Yeah. So here's the big thing about Dabi, right? He is so fragile to any sort of interaction. If my opponent builds a bunch of face down blank useless cards, Dabi's going to run all over them. Actually, just demolish them. But if you take and you build a single Walkling, or a Confused, or a Training with Gunhead, Dabi folds. His once per game is now useless because it can't gain throw, or it loses throw, or if I completely block it. We still have those Faith Shield issues, and I don't think there's a way to get around that, sans pumping 1,000 speed on this thing and saying that you can't block it. But it is we have to deal with onboard pieces, which is what I think Death does best. For that reason, I think Evil Gaze needs to be a 4 of. We gotta play 4 Evil Gaze as soon as they put as soon as they put a card out there that can deal with a foundation that can deal with our throw. We destroy it by making the block, or we play Evil Gaze on their turn, block their move, destroy their wall cling. Get it out of here. They don't get it. Same thing with Erase, being able to enhance and seal their wall cling. Night Watch to cancel their stuff. Gale Force Punch to destroy a selective foundation. Binding Capture Cloth to seal that foundation. Like, these are all options that we have in order to say, yo, the onboard trick that beats my character doesn't work now. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. That is way, way, way more important than draw more cards. It's way more important than this. Like, even this. Like, this is like a good version of this card. But Gale Force Punch just does this job about better. It's faster. It hits just as hard. It says my next thing hits harder, and if I have less foundation than you, I destroy one. I selectively destroy one, as opposed to if this thing hits you, which this is like the slowest, most mid attack in the whole wide world. This move barely gets hit. This move barely pops off when it's in Ochako too. You think it's gonna pop off in Dabi, who's giving it what, maybe 1/1, right? It's like it's a 4 mid for 6. Yeah, man, I'll just block mid. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, you got me. Right? And so that's where I'm coming from with a deck like Dabi. And then all of that is to make the once per game more potent. But the real brutal aspect of this character is your next attack is +3 damage. All of these moves just get absolutely massive for like no reason. And so saying that your blinding cloth captures are actually 8 damage moves is crazy. Saying that your merciless rushes are 8 damage moves is crazy.
Yeah.
All incredibly good. Your Gale Force Punch will never get the +3 because it's always the first move.
Yeah.
It's a 6 diff.
The biggest problem I had with Gale Force is that I felt like it is going to mess up the lineup I have with the Fury. Like, even like with Binding Cloth, it's combo attack, I think.
It's combos with a combo, but we don't care about the combo enhance. We just care about the enhance of CO1 Rival Foundation. That's what we care about. We just want to get rid of their cool move. That's what we care about. Right? We care about getting rid of their "you're so obvious," right? Because I'll give +8 to my +8 and throw to my move. Okay, I'll put it back to printed. Who cares? No, my first enhance is actually, let's seal that. Now you actually have to deal with what I have going on. Now you got to actually play around me, right?
Yeah.
I don't know which of these moves is the best to put in, right? Like, I don't know if it is Binding Cloth Capture. I don't know if it is Gale Force. Or if Brutal Explosion is just good enough, although you don't get to pick, right? Maybe the 4 Evil Gaze is just good enough. 4 Evil Gaze plus 4 Apathetic plus I want to put in Erases and Night Watch to cancel out these foundations. Maybe that is just what we get. I don't think we need Go for the Win at any more than like a 1 of, and I want to put Erase it at a 2 of.
That's fair. I think with like the amount that I can like cycle through my deck too and kind of pick and choose, I feel like having the utility foundations and like just the actions would be sufficient enough. I would have to play test it, of course, but would be sufficient enough that I can grab them, hold on to them, and use them in that situation versus having something that doesn't really synergize with what I built my attacks to do.
Yeah, that's fair. I think Night Watch needs to be in our deck at a 2 of. It's got to be. Boop.
That's fair.
In addition to that, I think Capabilities is nuts for your deck because it says every single move that I play is actually a kill card. Every single one of them can just kill you, except for Blue Flame Spiral, not a Fury. But every other move, I'll kill you with it. Hey, this Turn of Dust is actually an 11 damage move, or a 10 damage move, right? It's +5 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means that you actually have to spend resources on it. And so now my next move, I'll pop the once per game. Right?
Yeah, and other things are like, if it's blocked, it does damage anyway.
Right.
Or
and like giving +5 damage and +8 damage and throw when they don't have an answer. Seems like a good
Yeah.
use for 1 momentum, huh?
Really good.
Yeah. I think
Great.
it's a 2 of, and I think we actually take out the super rejuvenations for it because they have the same block, and those super rejuvenations could go in the sideboard if we needed them.
Yeah. Okay. Because then it just replaces the evil cases I had in the sideboard anyway.
Correct. Which on deck doctors I don't normally worry about sideboards because like I think that's way more. It's that is tougher to finagle. League interview. You have it at a 3 of. I think this is the pinnacle 2 of foundation. If you either play this card at a 2 of or a 0 of. I don't think 3 or 4 you actually get any more value out of this card than 2.
Okay.
If it said form and not first form, I'd be in. Or like form once per turn, I'm in. But it says first form, your check gets +1. And so having 2 of these on the board sucks. It just is not good.
Yeah.
And so
Because then, like, it has to be the first thing, so I can't even
Correct.
action if I wanted to.
Correct. Yeah. It is the thing that has to happen first. And so
Okay. I agree.
and we're
with
not
that.
even playing something like Gale Force Punch. This card is cracked in my Chaco 2 deck, but it says that Gale Force Punch is a 5 diff, not a 6 diff. That seems cool, right? But there's nothing in here to open up our combos. Like what we check out 3 on a Blue Flame Spiral, and I still have to commit my League interview. Like,
Yeah. Well, in iteration 1, it was League interview to check on Hauser Impact.
Howitzer Impact. The 6 diff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's neato. Yeah. I think 2 of is perfect, personally. For Apathetic, I think you need this, and this card's really, really good. Shock Absorption, I also want to cut down to a 2. Boop. I don't think you need it. And what I do want to put in is I want to put in Nervous Habit. Pew, 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 pew. This card is so cracked. This card getting
What's that one?
losing 1 health for +1 speed is such an insane exchange rate on all of these moves. Imagine, if you will, living in a world where Turn of Dust is a 5/5 for 5 with stun 2, and burns him for 2,
Amen.
and destroys a foundation, or burns him for
Yeah.
4, or destroys 2 foundations, all for the low cost of checking a 5 and losing 1 health. It's so good. Not to mention we're gonna have 2 of them out. It's a 6 high for 5. I lost 2. Just kidding. You lost 5. I'm winning. I'm winning this race. Saying that your Brutal Explosions now have bonus speed. Saying that your Signature Right Swings are 5 high for 4s. They're going to hit, which means they go to momentum, which means that our Turn to Dust are more live. It is just a good ass card. It's so good.
Yeah, and I like you even pair it with things like Glamorous. Glamorous was a card that I was looking at recently. I'm like +3 speed. I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah. I put into Summon of Style, and I put into First Day of Class. These cards are really good at helping you string out long strings. We want to string out really, really long ones. Why is Late Riser in our deck? Question mark.
That is my meme card. That it was well, first of all, the combo ability I think works well with my attack package.
Okay.
Just for that +1. It's a check 5, and my reasons for it aren't really great.
I agree with you
but
there. It says
I can
6
also
cards get +1 damage.
Yeah.
And
then
only if
there's
you've
also
committed a card on
discard.
Touch Decay. Because it says you have to have used the combo ability. This enhanced step. So this set now says commit a foundation for +1 damage. That's terrible. I'm down to keep it. I'm down to keep it if you like the picture and you want the card to happen. But
Well, okay. So let me take you back in time a little bit. When
Please.
we were playing together,
yeah,
do you remember how many of the combo things that I actually did when I went to combat?
right.
So I feel like that consistency justified it, and then the fact that if it's discarded with things like latent skill or signature right, I have that other thing that I can do in response.
I'm down to keep this card in the deck if you want it to. It and Villainous Entrance are jumping out at me as the 2 worth foundations. I would rather play 3 Forcing Surrenders and then the double First Day of Class to cover your low blocks, and they'll just get way more use, way more utility out of what's going on than these 2 cards will. But
So,
once again,
what
it's
was
your
the
deck. You can
well?
tell me now.
Forcing surrender. What does that do again? Sorry.
Fortune Surrender says response flip or enhanced flip after discard one non-attack card from either player's card pool. So when they face shield you, when they say that when they sticky balls you and they put a card in your card pool that interrupts this combo, right? They put a foundation in your card pool, or Moneta happens, you just kick it out of your card pool. You flip and say, I don't need that. Okay, my Brutal Explosion is back online. We're into it now. It also is accidentally momentum hate. And we just put in an even more consistent use of +1 speed. So like discard this card for a once per game +1 speed, or once per game -2 speed. Which and if we have to use the -2 speed, it's only happening on a latent skill on defense, which means that I'm not killing my opponent. It's just not happening.
You know what? I'm going with your recommendation. Let's do. Let's take out the late riser and the villainous entrances.
It's gone. And then villain entrance, it's just randomly stun 1, and we want our opponent's foundations to be ready, right? So that Dabi actually makes them have a choice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'll just destroy no cards. And then my last recommendation, Spooky should be a 1-of. It's a unique card that's only okay at doing what it does. And we should put in the double summon style so we can keep playing out foundations. And if we do that, we're back down to 66 with 22 attacks. And that's the perfect number.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Spooky 1-of.
Now, obviously this is your deck, right? Like this is yours. So any of this that you disagree with, have a conversation with me, talk to me about it, and be like, yo, I don't like this. Let's chat. Right? Because like technically your low block count is a little low. Just a smidge. We want this a little bit lower and put this in. But like we've put in things like capabilities, which doesn't really have a high block. So like there is that. We've kept in the go for the win, which I think we should probably just lose altogether, in order to keep this number high, you know?
What's funny enough too is that I don't really use the go further win. It was a recommendation from the person who helped me build version 1, and I actually never got to play it yet, so I never really got to measure its usefulness in the deck.
We could cut it. We could cut it and put in another Forcing Surrender, and you'd probably use that more.
Yeah, let's do it, gamer.
A minute. I think that is the right call. That is the right call. We're now down to 6 actions, which means we could cut a Night Watch down to 1 if we wanted to. I really like this card in the deck, though. I think this card's so cracked. What are your thoughts? Night Watch at 1 or a 2-of?
Let's keep it at 2.
Okay. Is there anything in here that you vehemently disagree with? We are missing a lot of death utility with things like we're not playing Excited for Blood, we're not playing Naval Laser Beam for the breaker, we're not playing Cheerful Uppercut for the card pool stuff. We're sideboarding 3 Struggling with Studies. It's not even mainboarded? Question mark?
No, it's a card that I was like, that was the one card that I'm iffy on. Was Struggle with Studies. And I keep reading it. I'm trying to like play out where I think it's going to be more impactful. And personally, for me, I don't see it.
That's fair.
And maybe it's just my lack of experience currently, but that's why it's in the sideboard. Because maybe one day I sided it and it just pops off, right?
Yeah. The biggest thing with that is it says that if you block a thing that like you can block, right? Like you block you block a low attack with Blue Flame Spiral and it doesn't hit. And then they play another move and that one does hit. And then they play another low attack. You can just flip this and you add a low attack to your hand. And so it just existing on the board just tells your opponent either the third attack that you play can't be a zone that matches what's already in your card pool, or realize that you're just going to give them that card back. And whether you block with it or not, you've given them back this card. So like you've gave them a Blue Flame Spiral, you gave them an Evil Gaze. You gave them a Turn to Dust, right? Like I'm forced to block this move with Turn to Dust. It's going to absolutely wreck me if I don't. Oh, well, you've attacked 3 times with pokes that I don't care about? I'll pick my attack back up. I'm good. And it also accidentally has like this really neato flip effect. of before my opponent apathetics my best card, I just flip this one instead. Like, hey, nope. This is the one.
Yeah.
That you get to flip.
So it plays off that control aspect I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Right. Because like you said, like any interruptions, and then it's just like, all right, go, I guess.
Right.
So this way I can keep what I want and use that as
Correct.
kind of like mitigation. Okay.
Yeah, but that would be
Well,
like
now that I
we have to cut one glamorous and maybe a high block. So something. I don't know. But I would suggest trying this list out first, and then maybe looking at struggling with studies in a different way.
We could do one glamorous and go down to one keen observation.
So cut one here for double struggles.
Yeah.
What does that do for us? We're still at 66. Our block zones are a little bit better. Yeah, this looks fine. This looks neat up.
All right. Perfect.
All right. Well, hey, man, thank you for the support over on Patreon. Let me shoot you this deck list over, and you have a good rest of your day, okay?
Yeah, thank you. And thank you
right.
so much.
Peace.
Peace.